All right, now let's talk about these trades. There were a lot going on. We have people just out there peddling their waiver wire extra add-on players and trades. Like I love it. I love the action. I love the way that they're being advertised. Keep it up, boys. Someone will buy it. Kyle Palmieri and a ninth going to Captain Crunch, who you'll see has been very active in the trades. To Pauly for Kevin Hayes and a 13th. Kyle, what do you think of this one?
Um, I mean, Kevin Hayes is having quite a season despite how bad the Philadelphia Flyers have been. So I mean, and Paul Murray just really hasn't been doing it. So it's a good upgrade. I maybe the pick might be a bit heavy, but it is a much better player for than what you're getting. So like I think player wise is good. Pick might be a bit heavy.
Fair. Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, a ninth isn't too bad. Hayes is having a good year. He's getting big minutes in Philly. He's scored 2 goals last night, I think it was, game-winning
Yeah.
goal. Like he's having a pretty good year, and I know Sean was just looking to get some more offense. He had enough grit, and Hayes gets a lot of shots, a little bit of hits, but I think it's a good upgrade. There's not a lot of guys out there available, and yeah, good on Sean. I think it's a fair trade both ways though.
I think it's good on Captain Crunch for getting a ninth for him. I don't know. I just don't know if Hayes will hold up like this pace. Um, I, I've learned to doubt Philly. Like even last year, Hayes barely played because he kept going through personal issues, right? Which rightfully so, given what happened, right?
Yeah.
But he was out of the lineup a lot, and just you worry about where his mental state is in the game of hockey, right? Like, is he gonna be into the games? Like, he clearly is right now. So if he can keep this going, like, it's a great pickup. But even at a ninth,
But it's also given the fact that like he plays for Philly. Like Philly just had a 10
they
game skid.
suck. Yeah, they suck.
Like they are so awful.
And he still did well during that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens to that trade. I don't hate it.
Same.
Suck my Ojic. Moving, picking up Jared Tenorti. I like to see who is out now, apparently. And a 13th over from Cherry Pickin' Daddy, who got Susie and an 11th. Corey, let's start with you this time.
Yeah, he's just like a big hitting D man, and doesn't really do a whole lot of otherwise. Um, Neil going for that. I'm kind of surprised, but it's only an 11th. Just unfortunate he's out now. It's only a 2 pick gap, so filling a gap you have, that's good. Only having to give up an 11th for it.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's pretty like they're both like statistically outlier players, but like Susie puts up a lot of hits. Like he's at 50 something hits this season already. So like that's a pretty good number. So I mean good on you.
I think Neil got a fairly good deal. Like I don't know, 11th for 13th is like it's nothing. So you updated your grit, which is an area he was probably feeling he was lacking, and just kind of say, okay, I'll go up a two round upgrade, no big deal. This trade, I just don't understand it. Catherine Crunch receives Craig Anderson, Anton Forsberg, 11th, and a 13th or and a 17th. Cherry Pickin' Daddy receives McEwen, Ranta, a 7th and a 9th. Kyle, what do you think of this?
So I've got a couple questions here. So like Bergeron, did you wear a ski mask when you pulled this one off? Because like Forsberg, last I checked, was hurt, right?
Where's that
He was
center
just coming back.
jersey?
Is he coming back? Because I know
Yeah,
Talbot's been playing.
he's healthy now.
Okay, then that's not as bad. But Rant has been starting for Carolina with Pot check or whatever, the other Carolina goalie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the picks are heavy. I think that's where my big issue is. Like, it's pretty steep.
Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like you're filling a very temporary hole there. Forsberg, you're hoping takes the lead, but like he hasn't played in the last 4 games either for Ottawa. And
And Talbot hasn't been
McEwen,
bad.
yeah, and McEwen is like he's been great for like what he does. Tons of pims, tons of hits. He's actually been putting up offense here and there. Rant is a sort of solid backup goalie typically. Pretty sure he's having a slow start though, and that's a pretty large gap. Like I think Kyle did well with this one.
I think Kyle got the better goalie in the whole group, and the 2 good picks. Like I just didn't understand this one. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a big fan of trading for Ranta in the first place. He gets injured all the time. But like Kyle, I think Kyle clearly won this one. Um, but this is another case too of Captain Crunch just cycling through his players. This is what he does. Cycles through. Where I was talking trade with him one week, and he's like, "Well, he only has 1 game next week. Yeah, but he has 4 the week after. Well, I would drop him before. Then why are you trading for him? You're trading for him just to get his man game in him for 1 or 2 days, and then drop him. Like, I don't like that. That's bad pick management. Like,
But the guy somehow makes it work, though.
does he? Like, he's not even in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah,
It's
we say that
3-4.
now, but like, I don't know. Like, he's gonna somehow make the playoffs this year, and we're all gonna say the same thing we said last year. How?
The thing is, this style only works until trade deadline. Because after that, you can't move anything. Last year he sold at the deadline. He gave me Letang.
And he was in first.
And he was in first. Like he can't resist. He can't resist the trades. That's gonna be his undoing.
He's basically a Travis who wins.
I don't
We'll
know.
see by the end of the year. We'll see by the end of the year what happens
We'll see.
there.
He has a decent
Tra-
amount of picks left. I'll say that. Like he
Yeah.
has a fair stockpile.
As
Nothing 6th or 7th though, like just his own, but a bunch of 8th, 9th, and on.
well, there's nothing on his roster left to sell. So, Trash Man trading Deneau in a 14th to Captain Crunch. See, uh, for Soderblom and a 12th. What do you think of this one, Corey?
Deneau is a solid player, but he's like borderline waiver wire. Like, but he's been really consistent with LA this season. So I don't think it's bad, but then he gives up a goalie that he then trades back for. So I'm just confused on that part.
Yeah.
But
That's just
overall,
what he does.
I don't think the 12th is bad for Deneau for how he's been playing because he's pretty gritty. He kind of does everything.
What do you think, Kyle?
I have nothing further to add than exactly what you just said. It's weird because he like you said, he goes back and gets him again.
He moves players around just to who has games this week. Let me fill out. I want to try and outman my opponent every week, and you're wasting picks. Like, I don't like this trade for Domo. When you gave up a goalie who's starting right now at least 50% of the time. Yes, on a bad team, but he's going to get those games, right? For a guy who's waiver wire trash. Deneau, he's playing well, but he's that guy, like you said, always on the wire. He's always available when you need him. He's just there, right? He's not good enough to be on someone's roster full time, but he's good enough to spot start like when you need it, when you need a body.
He is ranked 65th this season though. I'll say that.
He'll be a ranking slave. Like,
Yeah, 7 goals, 11 assists, 14 PIM, 6 power play points, 25 hits, 24 blocks, 47 shots. Like he's solid. and only having to give up what, a 12th? It's the goalie that I have the issue with.
Yeah. He gave up a 12 for a guy who it was going to be on the waivers the next 2 days.
But recently he's been consistent. That's all I'm saying.
He'll
Last
be back
season,
on the waivers.
he was on the wire for a long time, and then I couldn't drop him because he was doing so well at the end of the season. He ended up on my team the whole way through because of that. But he
That'll
was
happen.
definitely waiver wire. Yeah. So and he hasn't slowed down. So like as long as he keeps going like that, not like he's been the last few years, then it's not bad for the 12th.
I wouldn't do it, but he's a downgrade on my team. So, Wonton, Wonton and Clefbaum hooking up here. Clefbaum getting Kairu and a 15th for Mangiapane and an 11th. Why don't you tell me what happened here?
So Mangiapane has, much like a lot of players on the Calgary Flames, having a bit of a rough go. And I couldn't wait anymore. I couldn't wait for him to start doing things. Like I knew if I drafted him, the chance of him being a 40 goal scorer again, considering he's never been more than 20 before that, was a bit of a shot in the dark. So I needed to move him. And then of course, as I move him, he got a shorthanded point the other day. So
Yeah, I was gonna say right after the trade.
So right after the trade, Kyle's luck strikes again. But Kairu's a good player. He's a good young player. The Blues seem to be kind of unfucking themselves a little bit. So, hopefully he picks it up. He's been so far not bad for me so far. So, yeah.
Corey, what do you think of it?
I don't particularly like it for you. I think Casey was the better end of the trade. I think Mangiapane puts up a little bit more. Like he puts up the hits. He puts up the deeper stats. You're going to get it every game. His offense is going to come, hopefully. I expect him to. And I think Kairu's too one-dimensional. Too many just assists and shots, and that's about all you're getting out of him, I find. The occasional goal recently, but that's my opinion. I don't like Kairu when I had him just because of that, but I don't have enough grit at the time. So it could be a different circumstance then, I guess.
Yeah,
I feel like
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You guys
As
are
long
the
as he
same.
keeps the offense going, he's great. I think it's great only having to get up to 11th for him because he has been doing fairly well. But as long as he keeps it up, then that's good. As long as St. Louis gets their shit together or consistently gets it shit together, right?
Yeah.
They're weird. They went on like a big winning streak at the start of the year. Then they went on a big losing streak, and they're on a big winning streak again. Like who is this team? Like, what are they good or are they not good? Like, you just don't know.
I know. Even their cup year, right? Like they weren't going
They
to make the
were
playoffs
bottom of the
halfway
league.
through. Then they go on this massive streak, win it all.
Yeah, they fire a coach. Like,
Just want consistency.
Yep.
I feel like they're the same player. I don't know if I would pay an 11th for him, but that's me. If you're happy with it, then you're happy with it.
yeah, it's one of those like I roll the dice. If he turns out to be half decent and Mangiapane just kind of stays the way he's playing, then I win.
Yep.
And if Kairu has the season that he had last year, then home run for me.
Yeah.
It was a low risk, high reward option possibility for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No,
I don't know what else you get for an 11th. So
the picks are great.
Yeah.
This trade. I thought this was a steal for Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch, seeing that, Uyghur's just a normal guy in Calgary. Just like the whole team, he's struggling. They're not picking it up. Puts him up for sale. Moves Uyghur an 11th and a 14th to Jagerbombs for D'Angelo an 8th and a 10th. I feel this was a reflex move by Jagerbombs after his loss. Corey, why don't you tell me about this one?
Yeah, I agree. Like Uyghur's having a fairly solid year, but not as nearly as good as he was in Florida.
He's grinding still.
Yeah, he's grinding, but
he's not getting the rest
out there. So it depends on how he turns out, I think. But I still think it's a fairly heavy price to pay considering you probably have other options out there right now. But and D'Angelo is not a bad D man. I mean, he's hurt right now, but he's still something that Captain Crunch can hold on to. Some value there.
He moved them.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's what I mean. Yeah, the value.
He moved them for Soderblom. Kyle, what do you think of this one?
Well, I don't know. Like I personally am not a huge fan of it. Because like if you compare the two players, like stat line wise, okay, like one's got 10 points, one's got 6. So okay, stat wise not huge. Uyghur's better plus minus. Uyghur's better in hits. He's better in blocks. I think we'd agree Uyghur's better than D'Angelo. Like the teams they both play for. Like D'Angelo plays for Philly. Calgary's still miles better than Philly. Like I think he got a good price for him. But I mean, like I don't know, like if he was looking for like obviously like he was selling it, so like it's a good one for
he was
good one
dumping
for
him 'cause he wasn't
Jagerbaum, but
playing,
like
right?
what?
He was dumping him because he wasn't playing well.
Yeah, it was a good one for Jagerbaum. I just don't understand why he would do it.
See, I disagree. I think it's a bad trade for Jagerbaum. He gave him an 8th and a 10th. I had a deal on the table that was offered to me for an 11th for him, just a single 11th for
No, what I meant
17th.
player wise, it was good. Draft pick wise, the draft picks are awful.
Oh yeah, well, even the
Like I could see that being a 1-for-1 trade.
yeah, I can see that. I had an offer though, 17th for an 11th. I said no. That's too much. That's too much for Uyghur with the way he's playing. And then 20 minutes later, here's a trade I have to approve, an 8th and a 10th. He got an 8th and a 10th for a guy he was trying to peddle to me for an 11th. So I think Captain Crunch did a great job on this one, maximizing his value because he could have got crap for it like not long ago. I didn't think it was worth an 11th. So
Like Uyghur's one of those defensemen who's a good defenseman, but not a good fantasy defenseman.
I mean, he was pretty good the last 2 years.
No, like no, I mean like this season, like he's not having a good fantasy year.
He's not.
Like
That could
last
change,
year he was
though.
fantastic.
Trash Man back at it, peddling his trash, getting together with Captain Crunch again. He loves collecting Domo's draft picks. This time he traded Spencer Martin and a 14th to Trash Man here, or to Captain Crunch, in return for Miles Wood and a 10th. Kyle, tell me about this one.
Yeah, I remember this one because yeah, I mean I don't know, like a 10th for Spencer Martin seems kind of high. Miles Wood though is a good player, so like I don't know, kind of iffy on the trade.
I'll tell you why it's that high though. Nick doesn't have a lot of low picks
That's right.
because of all the peddling he's been doing. Like you're giving up like a 10th essentially to deal with him now. Corey, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I think this is a good trade for Nick. I mean, Martin got a couple starts in a row, but he's not gonna steal the show already. The whole team hasn't been playing very well. Like prior, it's like Demko's not to blame for everything, I'd say.
He hasn't been playing.
Pardon me?
He hasn't been playing.
Yeah, but I don't. I think that's very short term though. I don't see that lasting.
Oh yeah, it's not long term. No.
That's what I mean. So, to get a 10th for him, who guy you just picked up to get some starts because Bob didn't get the starts last week. That's pretty good for Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Good on Nick. He's milking it. He knows Captain Crunch is just looking for those players that he can pick up for a game or two. So good on him. He's out there preying on them, as we'll talk about in the next trade after this one here. Tage Sexual getting together with the Trash Man here, sending Zub and 11th over to Tage and exchange for Murphy and a 10th. Corey, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, if that's the guy you want, Travis, only 1 pick difference. It's not, can't really complain there, right?
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. Like it's pretty much a unilateral trade for both. Either way, is a 10th not much better than an 11th?
No.
I
like that it was his 10th coming back to him.
Yeah, I saw that too.
At work, he would say, "He's like, I want my 10th back." But I don't really have much to say on that trade. It's nothing, insignificant. Like the players are pretty much the same. The picks are pretty much the same. Captain Crunch going when he posted that that he was available, Soderblom. He said right away when Domo answers, "I knew you'd come. Like I knew you'd come back." Like like I knew you would feed into this. Captain Crunch moving D'Angelo in 11th, the trash man, for Soderblom at a 13th. Kyle, what do you tell me about this one?
It's a Domo special. That's what you call this. That's what you call this kind of deal. It's a I don't know. It's just I'm gonna stop trying to understand Domo. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop because when I try, my head hurts and I can't. I mean, who's the winner in this? Who's the loser? I'm gonna say good on Nick for getting a goalie back. Because again, Bob's not getting starts.
No, it's not. It's
He moved him up this time.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry.
This is
It's
the
Domo
trade
getting
back.
them. Domo traded.
Oh, that's
away.
right. Domo got. See, that's how fucked up this whole thing is. I don't remember who he's got anymore and who he's trading away. So I mean, whatever. Just whatever. It's where I'm at right now. Just whatever.
Yeah. What do you think, Corey?
One thing I want to say is the last trade was actually like a true like what would you call it, 1 round pick difference. Getting his own pick back, trading his pick away. Which is uncommon because normally it's like there's some value in seeing who it is, right? Where they're in the standings. But
both of these trades, both the picks were his.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, to get I'm kind of surprised that Nick traded Soderblom away, considering Bob's been struggling there with getting starts in. He got his last start was just bad too. Like he did not have a great game. So I think I'm surprised there, but if you're just going to keep moving and that's just a guy you don't plan on keeping anyways, because there are guys on the waiver wire once in a while and you just get another 2 round difference, good on you.
He picked up Halak tonight. Tried the pedal and no one picked him up and he got a win. He got a 3-1 win.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's what your intention was, just keep going that way.
He's just gonna
He'd
keep
have the shutout. Shut your trap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. I have that kind of power, and I use it to only win once in the league. We got some big matchups this week, boys. Okay, so let's start talking with Team Ramrod here, sitting at 6-1, taking on a tough opponent in the Rasmus Dahlin fan club here, sitting at 5-2, first versus fourth. Who do you have, Kyle?
I've got you. I think your forwards are better. I do think Nick's kind of got the edge on goaltending. Sorry, Nick. Derek's got the side on goaltending, but I'm still going to go with your forwards over his goaltenders.
Kakanen's a little hurt by that.
So is Kemper.
He had a good game actually too. Yeah, so Kemper is hurt too. Corey, what do you think? Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I think you've earned the respect lately, beating some other big teams. So
Beaten every team except for Sean. Sean's my only blemish.
Sean's bitch.
I'm gonna go with Team Ramrod. I'm gonna echo what you guys said. I just think my team's better. His goaltending usually is better, but I think this week there my boys came to play. Kakinen said, "Fuck yeah, we got Montreal. Let's shut those boys out." I left quick on the bench because I knew he was going to get raped for 5 goals in a 9-8 loss. I'm glad I made that call. And
It's just with Derek
that's a
having both
week
of those
difference.
Boston boys, right? Like, oof.
yeah,
But that's a week difference, Shane, between benching the guy and playing him.
Yeah, that could decide the week, right?
100%.
A shutout versus letting 5 goals in on like 16 shots. Like,
And then getting pulled.
yeah, and they get pulled. You don't even get the at least it could have been worse. It's not what's his name? Martin? Is he the goalie for Seattle?
Oh, Jones.
Martin
Oh, Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, Martin Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Got the
Yeah,
win,
like,
though.
he was in for all of them though.
He got the win.
Yeah. He paid for that win. Yeah, I agree with everyone. Team Ramrod all the way. Tage Sexual sitting at 4-3 in fifth place, taking on Neil. Suck my Ojic 3-3-1, sitting in 8th. Kyle, who you got here?
I got Ojic. Better goaltending, and his name's not Travis. So
Okay, fair enough. That's good reasoning. Corey, who you got?
Yeah, I got the same thing. I'm going to go with Neil. I just think his goalies are going to carry him through the week.
Man, I wanted to say Neil, but now I'm thinking about the predictions here. Like, this is my chance to climb back in and make a little ground here if Travis can pull it out. I just really don't trust his fucking goalies at all. His goalies are trash.
Either does he right now.
Oh no, I'm gonna go with my instinct. My instinct was Neil. I'm gonna stick with Neil. Like, gotta think. I get small victories here. Cherry picking daddy, 0-7-0. Is this the week? Will he defeat Clefbaum sitting at 3-4 in 12th place? Kyle, who you got?
I got me, surprisingly. I think I've got, looking at our forward groups, I think I've got the better forwards. I think I've also got the edge on goaltending. I am on a bit of a roll. And given the fact that he's like, he'll sell his like mother for draft picks right now at this point. So like, really, somebody make a deal with him to make his team worse for me, please.
Corey, who you got?
I think it's a little skeptical that you accidentally drop Stone when they have like a fairly large gap in their schedule, and then you pick up somebody to replace them.
Who I will
And then
who I will drop the instant.
No, I just played. I think you got the better team, so I'm gonna definitely give my vote to you.
Yeah, I have no faith in Kyle. I have no faith in him. He's sitting at 0-7-0. Like, until he can prove he can win a game, like I just can't pick him. Like, there's no reason that I can justify picking him right now. So don't try the beef.
One Kyle comes out.
Kyle's gonna win, but I'm gonna say Clef to just to clarify. Y'all try the beef. 1-6, taking on Wonton Soup at 2-4-1. Kyle, who do you have?
Because I already submitted my picks, I put Daltrey. He does have a higher game count. But really it came down to a flip of the coin, and I kind of like, I'm looking at both rosters. To me, they're both about equal. I'm gonna give the edge to Daltrey if he sets his lineup.
Corey, who you got?
Oh, I feel like Casey's second win against Kyle last week has an asterisk. So I think they're both like a one win. I'm gonna go with Daltrey for this week too, because he's been pulling out. Like, his losses have been close. So it's just unfortunate. I think this is gonna be a win for him. Get things rolling.
I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'll go with Casey. I just think if his Dallas boys keep going the way they're going, that they could carry him over Daltrey single handedly. So I'm gonna go with wonton soup here, and hope Dallas just keeps ripping people apart. Dude, where's my car? At 2-4-1, taking on the Jager Bombs. 5-1-1. Who you got here, Kyle?
I got Jaeger bombs. Due to game count, I think he's got the edge in goaltending, and just again, you don't get in second place by accident. So I'm gonna give him the edge on that one. Just because.
Say that, but I don't know if you noticed, like Domo was in first place before. That was definitely by accident.
All last season.
Corey, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Braden. I feel like it's gonna be a really close week. I don't think it's gonna be an easy win by any means. I like Dan's team. He has two consistent starters right now, essentially. So he's finally has some goalies going for him, and his players I think are really really strong. I mean, Letang getting a stroke does not help,
No.
but yeah, that's gonna hurt him. But I think Braden will take out the win.
Yeah, I think Braden. I cannot go against Braden. I went against him last week. That was an exception. This week, he's still only one loss on the year. The Braden bye week was only comes back twice a season now. I think he's going to take this easily. Patch, ready to rumble at 5-2, taking on Saucier Pass at 3-2-2. We're gonna start with you on this one, Corey, just because this is your match. So, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with myself. I'm fairly happy with where my team's at, and yeah,
Man
I
of
want
few
to say.
words. Kyle, who you got?
So I would like to point out that I made my pick before the week started. And so everything I'm about to say here is for before the week started. Because if anybody looks at the week now, might think that I might have a small, like with the Mark Stone thing would make a lot more sense now. Because I went based on not only the ranking, but I looked at forwards wise. I think his forwards are a little bit better. Like just on paper, they look better. And then I looked at goaltending because I'm like, oh, we've got all the goaltenders. And then he had Husso, who put up a massive stinker in relief, and then Georgiev, who put up a massive stinker, and then he had Logan Thompson, who was okay, versus some pretty stellar goaltending on the other side. So, yeah, I'm still going to say Patch ready, but I'm not going to mean it.
No offense. I'm not offended. I'm not offended. Don't worry.
Like I put it on paper, but I don't mean it now.
Well, things could change though, right? There's still a lot of week.
Oh yeah.
Things change so fast in this league. Like I was talking to Daltrey at work, and Daltrey's been winning most of his weeks going into Saturday night, and that's when he loses. Saturday, almost every week, just kills him. So one good day could really just make your whole week. With that said, I already decide who I always decide on the Monday who I'm actually picking, so I'm gonna go with Patches because that's who I would have picked on Monday.
Yeah, same.
That's it. That's who I
Right.
would have
He's
picked on
having a
Monday.
great season. I'm not blaming you guys at all. I just
Yeah.
can't go against myself.
I get it. I would never go against myself. Like why everyone should always unless you're Kyle, be hey, I'm gonna win.
Hey, I went 7-1 that week.
I meant the Bergeron just doesn't win. You can't go in and be like, I'm gonna pick myself to win. Like, no, you're not. You let yourself down. 7 on the ice, sit at 3-3-1. Taking on Captain Crunch at 3-4. Who you got, Kyle?
I got Captain Crunch. The game counts 54-42 for Crunch. That's pretty heavy. I'm gonna say goalies give them the edge, and I'm kind of really hoping for the upset. Really, I'm hoping for the unexpected.
Corey, who you got? We're just running a little low on time, boys. We're at 2 minutes, so
Yeah,
I know
I'm gonna go with Mark. Yeah, I think Mark's team's in a better position right now than Domo. I'm not sure what his team's gonna even look like by the end of the week, so it's kind of hard to go with him.
I agree. I'm gonna go with Mark as well, for all the reasons that we already discussed in Odolo today. Following the goalie at 3-3-1, taking on the trash man at 4-3. Who do you got, Kyle?
I got a whole shaft. Goaltending, forwards, just a much better team.
What do you think, Corey?
I'm gonna go with a tie on this one. Go off the board a little bit, and I think I don't know who to go with. I feel like Nick has they both have great keepers, really close team. I think it's gonna be a good matchup.
I'm gonna go with the trash man, just because I like his logo and I want to see Sean lose. Before we go, Kyle didn't want to take a minute here and say a little something. So
I just want to thank everybody who came out and gave their support to my app catastrophe for the whole Mark Stone thing. I just want to say I appreciate the integrity, boys. And first pictures on me next time we hang out at the pub.
we're gonna hold that out to you. We hold you to that.
Yeah, I mean it.
All right, boys. Thanks for joining me as always. Good luck, everyone, this week.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Cheers.